This is the Level Up Podcast. I'm Taylor Petrinovich,
And I'm Kelly Gilster of 618 Studios.
and we are on a mission to help wedding filmmakers and photographers level up their businesses so you can make more and work less.
We want to help you confidently take your business from mainstream to luxury, and it all starts right here.
Hey friends, and welcome to another episode of the Level Up Podcast. I'm your host, Taylor Petrinovich, joined as always by my friend and co-host and the yin to my yang, Kelly Gilster.
Hey guys. Hey Taylor. How's your summer going?
It's great. I last week was 4th of July, so all of the amazing, fun festivities, fireworks, lake days, things like that, and we're just I don't know. I feel like we're like thriving this summer. If you have kids and you're listening to this, like we know that summertime is great and fun, but it can be a struggle for us who work and having kids at home. But I feel like we finally have like nailed down kind of a routine that works for us where we can balance like the fun and the things that have to get done as well. So I don't know, doing great. How are you?
Do you feel like that happens also because your kids are at a different age? Because I very much feel like we don't have that all figured out yet.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, my oldest is 9
Yeah.
and she can go like sit and like read in her room for like 90 minutes without thinking twice about it, which really helps. And yeah, they're generally more self-sufficient, I would say, but that comes with a higher awareness of like them getting gypped if like we don't do something fun. So we're kind of like out of the days of them just like going with the flow happily. They have more of an opinion now, so it's a
Mm.
double-edged sword, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is actually my very first summer. So we have lots of new listeners that have just, kind of discovered the podcast in the last 6 months. So we're kind of wanting this one to be a little bit more conversational, a little bit of a peek into what Taylor and I have going on in our own lives. So you can get to know us as podcast hosts and educators and filmmakers as well. But yeah, my oldest is in kindergarten, or he just finished his kindergarten year. So this is technically like my first summer of experiencing the kids are out of school. We have a whole summer. I got to figure out the camps. I got to figure out our vacations. I got to figure out puzzle it all together so I can still get some work done.
It's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot.
It's a lot. Thankfully, his school has like a summer program that I can like do sporadic days on, and Wednesdays are really fun. They do like a water park day, and so that's really great where they bring in like a big water slide on campus, and I don't know, it's just fun. But I don't want him to like have to spend his whole summer at school when he goes back in the
Mm,
fall and starts all over again.
yeah, no, I hear that. I know my youngest, she's 3. So Kelly's middle, Sloan, and my youngest, Katie, are just like 2 months apart. So they're basically the same age. And so mine goes to daycare, and luckily daycare is open all summer. So honestly, like not much has changed in her routine other than like I do pick her up early a lot more because for me, summertime is very much so like getting done what needs to get done, and then like big project work where we're like really moving the needle, I'll reserve for times where it's not taking away from the fun and the experience. But I have hopped on and I got this idea from our podcast editor Cassie, who also does like other like level up team stuff, who I think she just is so smart. I got a gym membership at one of like the nicer gyms near me, and for myself and my older two, and I've been utilizing that. And it comes with 2.5 hours of childcare a day, and it's like super affordable. Like it costs way less per month than what a camp would cost for a week, for example. And there's like a rock wall. There's like immersive activities for the kids, and so it's just like enough to like keep it interesting for them. But
Yeah, and that'll be fun, like just for kind of the summertime, right? Those like two,
mhm.
3 months.
Yep. Just for the summer, and then I'll cancel when they go back to school.
Why not?
That's
I'm sure
fine.
a lot of people do that in your area.
For sure.
Okay, so before we dive into too many things personal life and talk about, just the ins and outs of our day to day here as Kelly and Taylor in the Level Up Co., we do have a really exciting announcement that we are working on over on Level Up side. Taylor, do you want to bring in the listeners on what we have going on?
Yes. So for the last few weeks, we've been like teasing and talking about this concept of a membership community here at the Level Up Co called League. And as of this week, it is officially launched into the world, which is very exciting. Last week, we talked a little bit about how we brought on kind of a founding group of members for a beta test round, and it's been going really great. And we've worked hard to get all of our ducks in a row so we could bring League to the world and to the greater wedding industry community. And it's finally out there. And as of literally just, several hours ago, we've been in our email inbox sending out invites to people who we think would be great candidates for League. This is an application and kind of like an invite only community, but you can express your interest in wanting to join us if you're listening to this and you haven't quite received an email invitation yet. Go ahead and hop over to thelevelupco.com/league. And if you would like to join us, fill that out and we'll see if you're a good candidate. We're really trying to just make sure that the people within League are going to serve the community really well and be a good fit for it. It wouldn't make sense to bring in people who maybe just their business isn't quite at a point where it wouldn't benefit for it, or maybe even your business is too advanced and it wouldn't quite benefit from it, or any for whatever reason. So we're just kind of making sure that every addition to this community is a really good fit. That's really what we want, and we're really excited. We've already got our summer meetings scheduled out, and if this is the first time tuning into the podcast and you're like, "What are you even talking about?" Go listen to last week's episode, and we give you a full rundown of what League is. And just a caveat, this episode, this is going to be the only time we talk about League. So if you're like listening and you're like, oh gosh, here they go again, keep listening because this is kind of going to be it. But I feel like it would just be a waste of a podcast episode with the timing of League launching for us to not even mention it. So we're really excited. We love our mastermind, which we're also in the depths of running right now, which is incredible. And actually, this time we were just talking about this a little while ago, but it's interesting because it's like 70% photographers, 30% filmmakers. So those photographers are pulling ahead in our community. But we've been really wanting something that was really focused on specifically networking that
Yeah.
we've noticed isn't being offered in the industry.
Yes. Yeah. So if you are feeling like you want to dip your toes into networking, figuring out which are the events to, get in the room with, or figuring out just like the etiquette behind networking so that it's really sustainable for your business, and also network within others within League. We have wedding planners, we have photographers, we have filmmakers, we have everyone from like all different walks of the industry all throughout the country. So it's really, really
Mhm.
exciting to be able to find new people in your area. And if you're in a certain part of the country that doesn't really have much of a local networking bubble, this is your perfect opportunity to network in the comfort of your own home, and then to figure out, where you can spread your wings and network in the room, and, really allocate those networking dollars wisely. And we really talk a lot about all of those things and the ins and outs of that. I
Yeah.
feel like we've talked about it enough, but come and join us inside of League. You can head over to thelevelupco.com/league to learn more about it and to submit if you have interest in joining. We'd be so excited to be able to see if you're a really great candidate for it.
Yeah, this is gonna be a lot of fun. Okay, we're gonna dig into this episode, guys. Last fall, we hosted a series here on the podcast called Sip and Tell, which was a much more laid back kind of series, a little cozy for fall. We were getting into some more personal things, a little bit more life stuff. And we got some really great response from that series that we did. And if you are again new to the podcast and you're like, who are Kelly and Taylor and what is their philosophy and what are they about? We have lots of episodes that might fill you in, but we just wanted to kind of breathe in a little bit of personality into the podcast. We've been like all business for the last several weeks, whether it's talking about networking, elevating your shooting, communication, things like that. And I feel like it's really great to take a pause and to kind of, you know, bring some human element back to the
Of
podcast.
course.
So,
Of course. By the way, Taylor, your top is so cute. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you have to check out Taylor's top. It's really cute. Where is that from?
okay, it's actually a dress. I can like halfway stand up
Oh,
so you could see.
okay.
If you're watching on YouTube, here you go. It's a dress. You guys, I got it from TikTok Shop.
Did you really? I just
Yeah.
ordered some shorts from TikTok. TikTok shop. It's so hard to say that. TikTok shop.
TikTok shop.
That's so cute. I love that.
Thanks. I wore it to Easter. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see what it looks like. But for those who are listening audio only, it is like a beige and white, like checkered plaid, like a plaid with
Mhm.
like fluttery little sleeves on it. Um,
I think we
I
call it a gingham.
oh well, you do. I need to use that word more often,
Plaid.
maybe. Gingham, like gingham style.
Gingham.
Oh, is that a combination of like, is that what plaid is? Is gingham or is gingham only a certain type of plaid?
I'm gonna look it up. I have my phone with me. And actually, funny thing, when you were talking about our series, my Siri was going wild. It was like popping up.
Hey Siri.
Yeah,
Okay, we like to have fun, guys.
we do like to have fun. Okay, so we're in summer. It's July. Taylor Taylor's up in Northern California, if you guys don't know. And so she has takes a lot of fun trips over to Lake Tahoe, and her family enjoys camping. My family is very much the opposite. But have you been to Lake Tahoe yet this summer?
We haven't quite been yet, but we will in just a few weeks be staying in. We have a friend who has like a long-term rental in the Tahoe Keys because they are considering moving there. And so they wanted to like have this place for 2 years just to like spend a lot of time there and make that decision wisely, which I think is very smart. But they're still working. They still have to go to work and they don't live in Tahoe yet. So there's lots of weeks where they're not utilizing it. And so they like have allowed us to pick a week of our choosing over the summer to spend there, which is so
That
nice.
is
Like,
so nice.
yeah, it's very generous. Anyway, so we did that last year. We'll do it again this year. And it's actually fun because our anniversary is on July 19th. And so it will just happen to like kind of fall during that time, which is a lot of fun. So we have a boat there. With the paddle boards, and it's in like a private like HOA community with like a pool for the kids, and like I don't know, it's so much fun. If you've been to Tahoe, let us know on Instagram. Just send us a little DM because I just feel like there's no place quite like it. It's supposed to be like the cleanest water, like lake, um, in the country. And I actually just saw a TikTok this morning. I was scrolling and I got a TikTok from this like boat rental company where this like kid, he's like 20 probably, has a champagne glass on their boat and he like scoops up a glass of Tahoe water and drinks it. And I'm like, well,
Oh
I
my
wouldn't
gosh.
quite do that, but like
Oh my gosh. That is so trusting.
I couldn't do it, but like that's a flex, I guess.
That is a flex. Um, That's really exciting. I love that you guys do your Tahoe thing. I still can't believe we've never been to Tahoe. So I'm in Southern California. I was born and raised in San Diego. Now I live in Orange County. But Tahoe is like one we've never been to. I don't know why. Our
I
family
mean,
just
it would be a
never
jaunt for
did.
you guys. Like that's
It would. Have you heard of Jet Suite X though?
no, is that like a private like plane or
It's like
like
semi-private.
mm,
It's very nice. And they fly into like lots of different little, I would say like micro like luxury places where it's not quite super easy to get to, you know? So, and it's kind of expensive. It used to not be as expensive. But for example, it flies out of John Wayne Airport, which is like my local airport to me, and you could go to Monterey because like there's no close like airport to Carmel, Monterey. So it flies into Monterey, flies into Napa. Like there's no close like
like
regional airport
commercial. Yeah.
commercial, yeah, to Napa.
Mhm.
It flies to Tahoe, so like there's no really around there. It does Cabo. They do Taos in New Mexico, which is like a mountain town.
That's cool.
Um, yeah, a lot of different areas. So I don't know, it's kind of fun. So I would take that. That would be fun.
That would be a lot of fun. You should
Yeah.
come up. Oh, you know, you'll
Okay.
be in Montana probably, huh?
We are going to Montana. Yeah, we do our Montana trip every year. We are flying this year. Thank goodness. Oh my gosh. If you guys were a part of the Level Up community last year, oh my gosh. Like I don't know why I agreed to this. My husband loves driving, okay? I don't mind it. I think it's really nice. I just think that we're in a season of life. We have a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 6-year-old. No one needs to be driving for 18 hours one way and 18 hours back. Combo that with a commercial trip, a commercial shoot that we had in Jackson, Wyoming right afterwards. And I added up our total driving time for that, like California, Salt Lake City, Montana, Jackson, Salt Lake City, Las Vegas, home. 40 hours in the car together. We all hated each other. Like, I'm just being so real. We like didn't want to see each other for many, many hours.
My blood pressure is literally rising as you're like explaining this. Honestly, okay, so we've Northern California. People outside of California don't always know how big the state is. So for me to drive to where Kelly lives, which is like, fun fact, 15 minutes from Disneyland,
Yeah.
it takes us like 6 to 7 hours to drive there. And even just that is horrible. So like we fly, like we did it once driving, and I was all, yeah, that was a mistake. Um, so I can't even imagine. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah,
Anyway,
at the
Montana's
time,
fun.
yeah. Or we can do a great seasonal flight through Allegiant, which I know isn't the most premier airline, but they get the job done, and it's literally the only nonstop that happens to be from John Wayne to Missoula, and it's 2.5 hours. We all get on the plane. John Wayne's such an easy airport to like fly in and out of. It's great. So like jump on, 2.5 hours, you're there. Sign me up. That's what we'll be doing this summer.
Easy, easy, yes. Absolutely.
Easy, yes.
Like, take
Yeah.
my money.
Yeah, please. Please. It's literally so inexpensive too. The flight from John Wayne to Missoula is $58.
Why would you ever drive?
Why? I know. I know.
Oh my gosh. Paul has some explaining to do. We gotta bring
He
him on that. We can
he
roast
like
him.
cannot let the drive go.
I
Um,
mean, having your own car is very nice, but like rent a car. It'll be fine.
yeah, for a
Yeah.
week. It's a week. It'll be fine. Anyways, okay, other things, Taylor. Last year, Taylor had a major glow up year. We're so proud of
Ooh.
her. How are you maintaining that? Or what are some areas in your life right now that you are wanting to glow up or are currently glowing up with?
Okay, so if you are new to our audience and you tuned into our workshop, Break into the Luxury Market, that we had a few months ago now, we did that in May. Um, on day 3, we dispelled some myths. And one of the myths that many people fall victim to in the industry and within their own lives, if we're being real, is this whole idea of it is what it is. Thinking that you have to just accept the cards that have been handed to you or the situation that you've put yourself in or whatever, and there's no changing it. And something flipped in my brain a few years ago where I've been really embracing the fact that literally every aspect of my life is in my control. And I've been making calculated changes to move closer to being the person that I want to be at the end. And I don't think I'll ever get there. Like, I don't think like you ever like arrive, but you can absolutely get closer like every single day. And so last year I claimed to be my glow up year. And so I lost like 10 pounds, which I'm 5 feet tall. So like
It's a big deal.
that's significant on my
Yeah.
frame. Um, like that's a couple jean sizes kind of thing.
Hmm.
And I figured out like a self tanning routine that worked for me. I've always just been like, why am I so pasty? And I'm like, oh, I don't have to be. Look at that.
Yeah.
Um, I started getting my nails done. I played with like doing my own, and I realized that I was actually spending more time and more money trying to figure that out than spending $45 at the nail salon every 3 weeks. So I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna start doing that. And my house is undergoing a glow up. We're actually about to redo our kitchen. This is not my forever home, so we're not you know, it's not going to be like my dream anything in our home, but like we're making drastic improvements. So right now my kitchen, so oh my God, you guys are getting a whole life story. I'm so sorry. My
No, this is
husband bought this
great.
house. Okay, my husband bought this house in like 2004. So like before the economic downturn of 2008. And
Hmm.
so it was new. And so whatever was happening with track homes in the early 2000s our house had. So we have like those like square white tiles for our kitchen counter, and I hate it so much and I'm done hating it. So we actually went over to we have like like a granite quartzite like place where they just sell like slabs. Like you walk through and you're like, I want that one, and those are literally the ones that you get. Um, and then they install them for you and everything. So did that, having the cabinets repainted, and then I feel like that's like just enough to feel like okay, I feel happy. I just like 22 years worth of like stuff in the grout and then like pieces of tile have chipped
Yeah.
when like things have fallen out of cabinets and like yeah, I don't have to
You
be it is
deserve
what
it.
it is.
You deserve it. No, and you don't need to just live like that.
So anyway, I feel good. I'm maintaining like my personal like body health like glow uppy stuff and now kind of like implementing glow ups in like other areas of my life. Um so that's exciting. It's kind of just like so that's very much like business actually too. Like I feel like you have to like master one level before you move on to like trying to do the next level. So for example, like you really have to kind of master photography or videography before you really start paying too much attention to branding. Right?
Yeah.
Like you got to put one foot in front of the other there. So, actually, so I read this book. Sorry, Taylor is just talking a lot. I'm
I'm
sorry.
here for it.
I read this book called The 12-Week Year. And I think so many people set goals over a 12-month span. And what that does is that makes things feel less urgent. And then
Yeah.
we try to tackle too many things. So it's like no urgency and like too many things that we're trying to accomplish. And so nothing happens if you like approach goal setting that way. And so this book, I highly recommend it. I just got it on Amazon. It basically approaches each 12-week chunk as like its own year where you set like 2 to 3 goals and it like walks you through how to like approach the next 12 weeks to like check that goal off of your list. So by the time a whole year has passed, you've gone through 4 12-week years and you're like actually way farther ahead than what if you would have just like set goals for 1 year. I don't know. I really like it. It speaks to my like way of approaching like I don't know.
Hey, Level Up listeners, if you want to start booking 5-figure weddings, then it's time to start curating a 5-figure experience. Get started today with our Client Experience Bundle. Charging higher rates and booking higher quality weddings both require elevating your client experience, and our bundle is going to help you do just that. We are here to equip you with everything you need to impress your high wealth clients and full service wedding planners. With this guide, you are going to save yourself hours of troubleshooting and years of potential setback. Now, with this client experience bundle that we've put together for you, you're going to have everything at your fingertips to elevate your communication and your processes both pre-wedding day and post-wedding day. This bundle not only includes email templates, but it also includes a customizable proposal template and professional guides. If you're looking to upsell your clients to serve them really well without feeling salesy, we also include polished and professional templates that provide your client with a feeling that you have their best interest at heart while helping you increase your profits. One of my favorite things about this bundle is that it includes our style guide. Dressing for the occasion demonstrates to your client and the creative team that you respect their event and also showcases a team player mindset. It's truly an incredible resource. Head over to thelevelupco.com/shop and position yourself at the top of the market and grab our client experience bundle today. The 12-week year. We love a good self-help book rec.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. Highly recommend.
Self-improvement. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I feel like the whole like self-help has been rebranded.
Yes. Yeah. I'm like, that's not the right term anymore. It's self-improvement or whatever else. But
It all is
that's
the same.
great. I
Yeah.
love that. No, that's true. I was actually doing my makeup before we started recording, and you and I had talked on the phone because we never stop yapping at each other. And we said that we wanted to do more of a conversational piece that touches a little bit on what's going on in our own lives. So I was just reflecting on that. And honestly, the same thing that is what it is stuck out to me that it is what it is. And I very much, I feel like in the last 6 months I had that switch that flipped in my own life too, which is really funny. It is centering around tanning as well. Are we just like the pastiest people in the world or what? But like, I just, there it just, it, I feel like there'd be things like I would not want to wear shorts, or I would not want to wear a tank top or whatever because it was like I'm just so white and pale. And then I'm like, I just don't have time. Like, I don't have the time to lay out. I don't have the time. And I think in my mind, I was thinking back to like early 20 something Kelly with no kids and what that looked like. And that looked like, oh, I don't have any time to like pack up my things and go to the beach for the afternoon. And then I was like, why am I trying to hold myself to this same concept or idea that isn't a part of my new life now with three kids in my mid 30s? Like, tanning now could literally be, why am I just keeping myself cooped up in my office when the UVs are at an 8, 9, or 10, and I could be out there for 20 minutes just answering some emails? I just put on a bathing suit, walk 6 steps out my slider, and plop myself on the grass. And Taylor, you and I actually just took a meeting a couple days ago, and I was outside tanning. And I was
I
like,
love it.
here I am.
Yeah.
And same thing with like walking and exercise. Got myself, you actually inspired me to get a walking pad because I'm like, oh, I'm too busy. These kids keep me from getting my steps in or whatever. And I'm like, no, I could literally just set up this walking pad and get in, take action and get the steps in. And I mean, it doesn't look the most glamorous right now in this season, but at least I'm getting it done. So hopefully that encourages someone listening right now that it may look different, but you can still get it done and you'll feel great about yourself.
Done is better than perfect. That's like the biggest mantra. Like, and I actually think that perfection holds so many people back from even like trying because they think that like if I can't do it perfect, then why even like give it a go? And I feel like that's such a backwards way to think, but it's very, very common. And actually, I think that's one of the things, if I'm being honest, Kelly, I think that's one of the things that has allowed us to be successful, like with Level Up and with me to be successful with like my filmmaking. You're legit. I'm like,
I'm not
I
legit,
I try
but
my best.
no, that's not true. I will
But
say, yeah, you just have to, we are huge people in building the parachute on the way down, but you
mhm.
have to just like hop out of that plane and let yourself figure it out on the way down. I think that the biggest thing is that, to be honest, that's what 95% of people are already doing too. Like, so when you kind of realize that that's the mantra of everybody out there and that's how they're making it work, it gives you that permission to do the same.
100%. Well, I think that because of social media, everyone only puts out like the most polished versions of themselves, but you don't know how many self-doubts they're having. They're
Yeah.
driving around the city like with emails coming through and then being like, "Ah, like oh no," or like self-doubting that next move they're going to make or second guessing this or not actually understanding where they're going to go next and having to like just wing it. Like so many people, most people, all people don't have it all figured out. Like nobody does. That's part of
No.
life. So, if you're like
Yeah.
holding yourself back from doing whatever, like getting tanner or losing 10 pounds or growing your business or starting that like diversified revenue stream, like just know that no one knows what they're doing all the way. But you do learn a lot like along the way, but you have to
Mhm.
start.
Yeah, you got to start.
Yeah.
And then once you get started, it's like a muscle that you learn of like just throwing yourself into situations. You are so much more willing and able and capable of doing it again and again. But sometimes it just
Mhm.
takes like those first couple pushes of like, it's like just hopping into that cold water when you know it's going to feel so refreshing once you do it, but you're just like hyping it up in your mind about how much it's going to like shock you when you jump in. But it's always worth it, right?
It's like temporary pain for long-term gain. Did I hear that somewhere? That sounds way too good for me to have just come up with that. It rhymes and everything. But that's what it is.
No, it is. I before kids, I had a lot more time to like run and stuff, and I would always be like, "Ugh, I don't want to do this run, or sometimes I would want to, but most often than not, I would be like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to get started, and then there would be some painful moments, obviously through the run, but I can honestly say I have never regretted like doing a run. Like once it's over and like those 10 minutes after your heartbeat comes down and you're drinking your water and you're feeling good, like there's just no better feeling. And I just think that that also just spread across all life accomplishments is the same exact way. You're never like, "Oh, I'm so disappointed that I accomplished that."
Yeah. Honestly, so that's kind of how I felt too. So we spoke at Kinetic in Santa Barbara back in March, and like I was so excited for us to speak on stage. It was gonna be so fun. That was the first time we've ever spoken together in person at an event. Like we do online stuff all the time. We do this podcast every week, but there's something different about like a live audience, and then also having to like figure out like who's going to talk when and like not have it be like a train wreck. Anyway, I was excited. And then like literally 5 minutes before we walked on stage, I had that like uh-oh, no, 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 I don't want to do this, like that feeling. No, no, no. But then it is like once you're on the stage, once you're doing the thing, like you get comfortable, and then afterwards it's like that huge dopamine rush. And I feel like we probably all feel that like after some weddings. Like you can look at like the biggest weddings of your career and you're so excited for the weeks leading up to it. You're in the car, you're a little sweaty, you're like, "Uh-oh, what am I getting myself into?" And then you like look at the design and you I don't know, all this stuff, and like at least for me, like I'm like, "Oh no." But then like something happens, like your all of those reps that you've put in take over and it's muscle memory, and then it just like kind of works out. But I just feel like people get themselves like to the point, to that edge, the edge of the pool, and then they turn around and walk away instead of diving in, which is like a big tragedy. It's really sad.
Yeah. Yeah. It's another like last analogy that I have. So, at the time of recording, my son isn't out of school yet, and we went to this track and field kindergarten day yesterday, and it was fun to be able to watch their different events. And they, by class, went around to all different events and competed, and it really brought me back to my track and field days. So I did 4 years of track and field in high school, and I just loved every part of it. I think what I love about track and field, Taylor, do you know anything about track and field on how they score it?
No, I did do 1 year of track in middle school, but I can't remember that far back about the details. I would imagine it's similar to swimming. So like 3 points kind of thing
Yes.
for like first
Yeah.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So same thing. So same concept. It's really cool because it's individualized accomplishments, but towards the greater goal of the entire team on the point system, which is actually, I think, really cool. It reminds me so much of our mastermind program too, because it's in this group coaching where we're all just like growing at the same pace and we're growing together and we're able to cheer each other on. Just like, maybe you're a track only person, but you're gonna go and like spend some time over at pole vaulting to like cheer on your pole vaulting field members or the shot put or discus, all those things. And so it's so cool in the mastermind, and I'm so happy we're about like I'd say about 10 weeks into our mastermind right now. And it's just really fun to be able to see everyone building that momentum. And then we're going to get to the end and like everyone's going to be tallying up everything that they did within mastermind to make that one group like combined total to see like if you won on the other side as a big group or, you know, I mean, our students always win, but just track and field wise. And I was on the relay teams, and one of the teams that I was on was the 4x4, where like each person sprints that 400 meters, like the full lap. It's like one of the hardest distances because you're just sprinting for an entire lap. It's so hard. And same thing, Taylor, that you were saying with like 5 minutes before. You're like, no, 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 no. Cause like before speaking, you're like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I would say that every single relay, I would feel the same way. Like your teammate is coming around the bend and they're about to pass off the baton to you. And you're like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this because I know it's going to hurt so bad. But then something about you getting the baton in your head, and maybe it's that showing up at this wedding that you're driving to, that you're making up this big thing in your head, and you're like, I can't perform. I can't do this. And then you just get there and you just like go. Like the exact same thing on the 4x4. It's like you just get that baton and then you just go.
The
And you pass
adrenaline
the
just takes
baton.
over. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because there's relays in swimming too. I was
Mhm.
never a swimmer, but like you're probably feeling the same way where you're like, oh, you're on that diving board, like, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. And then you just like launch off and there's like no going back.
It's so fun. I love that we have like the same gravitation towards analogies. Like I think it's so fun. You learn a lot about people and like what they choose to like talk about to like illustrate a point.
Yeah.
And I think it's so fun. And yeah, um yeah, track and swimming are very, very similar too.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, okay, you guys. So, because this is a fun, weird get to know us episode, if you're still listening, thank you. I actually just typed into ChatGPT. This is the prompt I gave it. We are recording a get to know us podcast. Give me some fun questions for a rapid fire.
Oh,
So
I like it.
I'm gonna do this, okay?
Okay.
So it is so sweet and it broke it into categories, but I'm just gonna go, 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 go. All right, what's your go-to coffee order?
Just a black coffee, nothing in it.
Okay, I am almost just as boring as you. I'm a black coffee, but I no regular coffee, like not a latte, but with a splash of like half and half and one of those like sugars in the raw packets.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I always get. What's your go-to karaoke song?
I was just thinking about this the other day. My mom had a karaoke machine growing up, and it would, like, make an appearance, like, every other week or something. It's like a Shania Twain song or something, or like a Jewel song. Like, oh my gosh, talk about, like, the '90s queens, like Shania Twain and Jewel. I can't remember it. What's yours?
Oh my gosh, okay. If I had a captive audience and they had no choice but to listen to me, it would absolutely be All Too Well 10-minute version, Taylor's version,
Oh
for
my god.
sure. You're
It would be.
stuck. You're stuck.
Yeah.
Actually, fun fact, I with my friend, Kimberly to San Diego about a year ago, and we did do a karaoke night, and I sang, "Sugar We're Going Down"
Oh, that's
by Fall Out
good.
Boy. That's a fun one. Um
I also this is so off-brand for me, but I have lots of little, like, hints of off-brandness in my personal life. I know the entire song of Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. So I would probably just, like, get up there as, like, this little, like, blonde San Diego girl that's, like, so straight edge, and then I would just, like, bust out Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's funny. Actually, it's funny that you say that because a few months ago, I set out on a journey to memorize, all of Encore by Jay-Z.
Oh, I like that.
It's a hard one. I mean, I probably got about 80% in, and then I was like, "It sounds really bad coming out of my mouth," but I know the words, so, I can't rap. Like, I don't have that, like I don't know, like,
Like
the way you
the
say the
cadence
words, it just
or
sounds like I'm saying words fast. It doesn't sound like a rap, you know?
yeah, that's funny.
But speaking
I
of
like
off-brand,
this. Keep
okay,
going.
I know the answer to this, but the listeners may not. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Night owl.
I'm the early bird.
Mhm.
Okay, beach, mountains, or city?
Oh my gosh. Probably city.
Really? I
Yeah, I
thought you would say
love New York
mountain.
City. I wanna move and
Mm.
mountains for Montana for sure. I would say it would go, like, city it would go city, mountains, beach. So, when I was pregnant with Levi, so we went this we're probably coming up on 2 years now. So 2 years ago, this Christmas coming up, Paul and I we went on a trip. It was our first trip in 7 years that wasn't work related or with our family or like it was just the two of us, not work related at all. And we got to the hotel and then we slept for 11 hours straight. And then I was like, we probably should have chose like a beach vacation for this. Like first vacation in 7 years and we just like chose to like go 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 in the city. But we love New York so much and before we had kids, we had like a moment where we wanted to live in New York for like a couple of years. And actually, fun fact, when I gave the card to my mom that announced that I was pregnant, she was like, I 100% thought this was going to be a card telling me that you were moving to New York.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I am learning. Like, I remember you going on that trip, and I remember you being, like, so excited. I remember you, like, saying all the restaurants you were gonna go to and, like, all the hotels you're because you stayed at 2 different hotels, I
Yeah.
remember. But I did not know that, like, you were so passionate about it. How fun.
I just think the energy of that city is so amazing, and I could 100% see Paul and I, like, later on in life when the kids are, like, grown in college or out of college, like, buying, like, a little place, there to spend, like, certain places. I don't know. This sounds very bougie, and, like, this is just, like, my dream life that I'm thinking of that we talk about and stuff, and so that would be, like, a dream.
That's fun. Yeah, I don't know. I am not a city person. I have been to New York City one time. It was, like I'm sure so many people have had a similar experience. It's like that 8th grade trip, like,
Okay.
after like, the summer between 8th grade and freshman year, and everyone goes to DC. I did that, but then my school after we went to DC, then we went to New York City as well. But I did see Wicked on Broadway. That was pretty cool in, like, 2006. So that was, like, a more, like, original rendition, but that's the only time, and I mean, I would like to go back maybe once, but I don't know. I think okay, so for me, it's beach, but I don't wanna be on the beach, like, I don't wanna be touching sand. I want I do. I want to be in, like, a high-rise something overlooking the beach, like, I want
Like
that to be, like
Hawaii.
yeah. So, I love Hawaii.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Like a
great.
pool and the beach is, like, just over yonder. Like, you can
Like,
appreciate the waves and, like, the smell of the sea but you're in, like, a clean pool.
yeah. Okay, I do like swimming. So we just went to Maui last November. And we brought the kids. It was great. It gives me anxiety because we have like the 3-year-old who doesn't know how to swim, but our other two are pretty strong swimmers. But it is kind of fun, like swimming on the beach right outside of the like the resort, and like there's just like turtles swimming. Like it's pretty surreal. But I and let if it was a kid, like if my kids are with me, I don't want to do the beach because that comes with like, there's sand in my hair, like it's
Mhm.
touching me, like so many complaints that I think it's just like driven me away. But if it's just me, then I don't mind the sand. But I feel like I've just been burned by these children in sand too many times. I'm like, no more.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Okay, this is
Yeah.
a good one. This is actually gonna be interesting. I'm so excited to hear. What's
Oh
something
gosh.
you're weirdly good at?
Um, Not having a CRM and just, like, running my business in my mind. Like, I can just literally remember every single date, like, for the last 15 years, every single year, whether we had 30 weddings on the calendar or 10 weddings on the calendar, like, I could just like a planner, I could, like, see a planner at a dinner, and they'd be like, "Are you available June 15th?" And I could be like, "Oh, we're already reserved." Or like, "Are you available August 8th?" And I'd be like, "Oh, yeah, we have the date available." Like, I would just know. Like, it just is, like, all in my mind. I'm weirdly good at that.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
What about you?
I I don't have that skill. I do not. Something I'm weirdly good at. I am a very fast typer. Like
Mm.
that's like always a weird one. In 3rd grade, maybe 4th grade, sometime in elementary school, my school had something called Hot Chocolate Club, and like you could come to school at the wee hour of 7 a.m. and like one of the teachers, like bless her soul, opened her classroom to these children and provided hot chocolate once a week at 7 in the morning. School doesn't start till 8:15, and taught kids to type. And
Wow.
I did that for a few years, and I'm actually like super fast. Like I'm like, dang, I could, I don't know, be a court reporter or something.
You've always been an early bird. That's what I'm gathering here.
Oh yeah, always been an early bird,
Yeah.
but I like it. I wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, so what's one business tool you can't live without? Obviously, it's not a CRM.
Not a CRM. Honestly, this is not a plug for Illume LUTs, but I couldn't live without my LUTs. Like, it just makes color grading so much easier, so much more streamlined. I couldn't live without it.
Mm. I'm also a user of Illume, and I would agree it does speed up the process a lot. I I don't think I could do business without my notes app on my phone. Like it's
Mhm.
this my stream of consciousness, and like every idea, it's like where I work through things. Actually, you sent me this. I think you sent me a TikTok the other day where it's like, or maybe I just saw it. It's about like raw dogging flights.
Oh, no, I did send you
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah, okay. And on our way home, my way home from, I don't know, I was down visiting you for whatever reason a few months ago, and, I was flying home. It's not very long, it's like an hour, 15-minute flight, but I raw dogged that flight. It was just me and my notes app, just
Oh my
thinking up all
gosh.
oh, and my calculator app, doing all the math. It was a good hour of just, like, brain work. It was great.
Yeah, it is
Um
great. I actually, fun fact about me, I don't listen to, if I'm by myself in the car, I just drive in silence and like in my thoughts. I don't have, maybe it's a
Always?
podcast if I wanna,
Okay.
like, learn something. It's never music. It's just, like, me sitting by and I guess my brother does the same thing, so, like, we have similar mannerisms
Oh.
there. Like, his wife thinks it's the weirdest thing ever.
I will if I just came from, like, heavy having to think or, like, heavy social situations, then, like, yeah, I don't need anything, but if I'm just, like, in my house and I'm, like, doing whatever, and then I'm gonna go drive 30 minutes, like, I absolutely need something,
Mhm.
unless I'm, like, coming down off of some.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. You'll just find me alone in my thoughts in my car, driving in silence.
It makes sense, though, because I'm a big, like, shower thought person. Because like, I don't bring my phone into the shower, but you do.
I do. I'll
So
be,
you
like,
don't get
sending you,
shower
like,
thoughts.
voice memos in the shower. I'm like, "Literal shower thoughts right now. Here we go."
Your brain just needs that time.
It really does. It's just, like, nonstop. but for some reason, the car, I can just, like, shut it off. Okay, any others?
Yeah,
This
there's
is
a
getting
couple fun
long.
ones. Yeah, I know. We'll wrap this up. These ones are just fun. Okay, if your brand were a cocktail, what would it be?
Hmm. S something just, like, very traditional, like, tried and true, has some history to it, so nothing, like, new and hot and, like, things like that. Like, it would be like a Manhattan or, like, an old fashioned or, like, one of those drinks that has just been, like, around, like, for generations and generations.
Mhm. I feel like mine might be something like an Aperol Spritz or something. Like,
Yeah, a
it
pop of color, something, like, a little more, like, on trend.
mhm.
Yeah.
And something where, like, if you're sitting down at a restaurant and someone orders that, you're like, "Huh?"
Where you're like, "There, you're fun."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But honestly, I've tried them and they're not I don't think they taste good. So
It has
that's
a
kinda
very
interesting.
distinct taste for sure. You have to, like,
Yeah.
really like that, like, Aperol-y taste. It kinda has, like, an almondish to it. Maybe
It
that's not
does
right.
not taste the way you would think it does just by looking at it. Like,
Yeah.
you'd expect, like, fruity, like, fun, sweet. No,
Mhm.
not that. So maybe that's why I was, like, expecting one thing and didn't get it.
So funny.
Okay, this can be ooh, okay, this is a good one. This will be the last one. If you had to rename your business today, what would you call it?
That's such a good question. I literally don't know because so we coach a lot of our students inside of our mastermind program, and a lot of people undergo a rebrand, and sometimes that includes a name change. Shout out to Fleeting Moments Cinema, Taylor Petronovich over here. Um, it's hard for a husband and wife team unless they have a really great last name to utilize like their name in it. So, like, for example, shout out to like Hugo Film Co. I think they have like a great name, Hugo, even especially because like Hugo Boss, like the brand is like already like kind of elevated in its own right. So I feel like they have a great built in on that. But like no shame, but like Gilster. Everyone says Glister anyways. It just wouldn't work to use Gilster. So I don't know. 618 is our anniversary. So sometimes that feels cheesy to me, but I don't really like lead with it that it's our anniversary. Like no one knows it's our anniversary unless like you know.
Yeah.
What would
Would
you
you
what
ever
would you
do a
say?
Kelly and Paul?
How would that look?
I don't know.
So
Kelly?
the rules that we say is that it has to be Kelly's hard to spell because it's spelled differently.
That's very true. I think it'd be fun. You could do like Sloan Films. Like,
Oh,
that's one
I
of your
love
kids.
Sloan. So Sloan's my daughter's name, and I love the name. Yeah, there's Sloan Photo.
Oh,
Shout
there
out to
is?
Sloan Photo in San Diego.
Hmm. Maybe not then. That'd be confusing. Yeah.
Yeah,
The names are hard.
the names are hard. Yeah, and it's a hard thing when our students come to the realization that it's time for them to like, you know, switch up the name because your identity is so like in depth.
Yeah.
I think it would be if I were to change it, I think it would just kind of be like some sort of like ambiguous. So like our commercial brand is Westmade Films, and I feel like it would kind of be like something similar to that. Like just kind
Yeah.
of like a blend of like a little bit about us and other things, how we came up with Westmade. So
That
yeah.
makes sense. Yeah. I could see like how hard that would. I mean, it's super easy to go from something like Fleeting Moment Cinema, which was my brand name, which don't don't copy it. It's not a good name if you're listening to this. To Taylor Petrinovich. And but I mean, speak of like hard to say last
That's
names,
true.
like it catches a lot of people, but you know what? No one's gonna confuse me with somebody else. They know
That's true.
exactly who
That's
I
very
am.
true. Yeah. Yeah. Kelly and Paul films or like K and P. Like Smith and James. Theirs is like the S plus J.
Yeah.
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 Great
I like the
names.
2 last names. I almost feel like you could do like so your maiden name is Matthews. I feel like you could like play with that.
Yeah.
I don't
I had
know.
a good maiden name.
I have no good names. My maiden name is Decker. That just like that doesn't like roll off the tongue. Like it's just as like
I think
choppy
it's
as Petrinovich.
cute. No, I like it.
Yeah, I don't know if I would ever like honestly,
Yours is great.
yeah.
You can never go wrong with just
Mm-mm.
your name.
No. If I did rename, I would. Okay, so I might do this. My brand is literally just my name. No other words. No films, no cinematography, nothing. It's literally just taylorpetrinovich.com at Taylor
Hmm.
Petrinovich. I would I would add films probably to it
Hmm.
so that I could reserve my personal brand for future endeavors that are outside of like filmmaking or the industry. So like that
Yeah.
is something I've thought about because I am a true entrepreneur at heart. Like I feel like there's going to be lots of businesses that I create over my lifetime and I'm like a little like bummed that this brand is like so wedding specific when like I
Mhm.
could have like I guess it's not too late, but everyone's tagging like Taylor Petrinovich. So it would just be like a little confusing at this point. But I would make that adjustment if I could and if it wasn't gonna like feel chaotic.
Yeah.
But because you know what if I want to like go like speak or like write a book or like whatever, but I don't want that to live on like my wedding like Instagram, you know?
Yeah. I think that's when the brand just like, that would be like future life things for sure.
Yeah.
Like, say you're not filming weddings anymore, and then it
Yeah.
just like changes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't have to be an issue, but that would be what I would do. But you guys, if you're still listening,
Thank you. This was
dude,
fun.
props.
I'm glad. Ooh, actually, prompt at the end because you made it till the end. Can you tell us what your brand cocktail would be? You know how we talked about this? Send us what your brand cocktail will be, and we're gonna pick a winner, and we'll buy 5 of you guys coffee. We'll Venmo you. Buy you guys coffee.
Yay! Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, we're at the Level Up Co on Instagram. Send us a
Yeah.
DM.
Yep. So we will select 5 winners to buy coffee for when you tell us what your brand cocktail is.
That's a fun one. I like this game, Kelly. This is
All right.
perfect.
Of course. All right, you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Thanks again as always for listening to us on Tuesdays or Wednesdays or whenever you get to it in your week. Maybe it's driving to a wedding on a Saturday. We just really appreciate you. We love having you a part of our community, and we will see you again next week.
Thank you for joining us in today's conversation. Please help us reach more filmmakers and photographers like you by taking a screenshot and sharing it to social media. And don't forget to tag us at the Level Up Co.
And join us again next week, same time, same place, as we continue to level up the industry together.